Hey guys, it's Danny. Today I have some horrible news to share with you today. I'm really sorry, you have to take a seat. Brace yourselves for what I'm about to tell you because it's bad. So, about a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I found a beautiful Miltoniopsis orchid at the flower shop. You might know I don't do very good with Miltoniopsis, but this one was in very good condition and I thought, why not? I'm gonna give it another go. And this Miltoniopsis actually is quite a new hybrid. I know it does look like almost any other Miltoniopsis, but I can definitely see some traits that are kinda new. It's a new hybrid. And when I purchased it, it did actually have multiple flowers which have faded. One thing that was kinda weird about it was the fact that it had no fragrance, but I thought, well, it must be stressed. Maybe as the flowers open, it will start to have more fragrance. I just need to give it a little while, need to give it water. And sadly, in these 2-3 weeks since I have it, the fragrance never came back. Very odd, right? But again, I thought, well, she might be stressed. Maybe she's not actually as healthy as I thought she is. That can happen if orchids are not very happy, if they're stressed. Sometimes the fragrance can be affected. Usually not with Miltoniopsis. Miltoniopsis, no matter what, they smell. Not this one. But again, I brushed it off. I didn't really think about it too much. Until yesterday, when I went to that exact flower shop yet again. And found this Miltoniopsis, which, you know what, I did see last time as well. I saw the buds were almost opening, but I couldn't really see what variety it was. I thought maybe it's the Hair Alexander, which is my favorite. Maybe it's not, I didn't buy it, but today I went there specifically to look for this one, and I found it. Here she is. It's the beautiful Hair Alexander. You wanna know why I love this orchid? It's because it smells the best, and indeed, it does. Now you guys, this orchid has suffered. I should have purchased it when I saw it, but now it's not looking spectacular. There is some work to do here. I decided to take the risk because, oh, the fragrance. The fragrance is wonderful, smells like the most wonderful rose. If there is a rose to rule them all, it's this one, which is not even a rose, but that's how it smells like, the most wonderful rosy scent ever. And it's not really that kind of sweet rose that maybe some of you don't like. I like any rose, but anyway, that's just me. It smells like the best rose of life, end of story. This one is fragrant. But guess what? At the flower shop, I did actually find a whole lot of these. They still had them. And they only had this variety, no red tide, nothing else. And guess what? Those Miltoniopsis were still not fragrant, even though some were like fully opened. The flowers were gorgeous, but there was no fragrance. And when I say no fragrance, I mean maybe something very, very mild, but really nothing to write home about. You wouldn't even send a postcard home about this orchid. And to be fairly honest, compared to all of the other Miltoniopsis that I have purchased or I've had along the years, looks-wise, it's not the best. I mean, this waterfall here, it could be better, right? But fragrance, no fragrance from a Miltoniopsis, which seems absolutely fine, but a heck of a ton of fragrance from an orchid, which is that you can see the flowers are just droopy. I watered it. I don't know if it has roots, but it's on its deathbed and it still smells so powerful. This is how Miltoniopsis should be. This is the Miltoniopsis we all know and love. Now this is something else. This is a scentless plant that passes as a pansy orchid. I'm being so dramatic, you guys. I do this for comedic purposes. I'm not that invested in it, although it's sad. I mean, one of the things I think we all love about Miltoniopsis is indeed the fragrance. I'm not gonna talk much about the ease of care, but the fragrance, I think we can all agree, it's one of the best fragrances of the orchid world, period. Now, I thought about it a little. It's not surprising because all the time you will see at the flower shops new hybrids appear, and that kind of makes sense. You want to keep the customers on their toes. You don't want to have the same old flowers pretty much all of the time. Although pink Phalaenopsis, I don't think they will ever go away. Anyway, you want to spice it up. I see, I get it, and sometimes it's good. as you will see towards the end of this video. But sometimes it's not that good. Now, do you guys think possibly they have selected some of these Miltoniopsis for more vigorousness, for maybe being easier to care for in detriment of scent? That might be an option, and it's not like it didn't happen before. Pretty much all of the complex hybrid Phalaenopsis we have, they are scentless because they have been selected for being more vigorous and blooming more, not for the scent. Scent was never a priority, I do believe, for hybridizers, although if you look in their parentage, you will find scented Phalaenopsis, such as the schilleriana. Not all its hybrids will be scented. And that just has to do with us humans and how we selected them. Do you think that's what's happening here? Do you think this orchid is actually less finicky than a typical Miltoniopsis in detriment of the fragrance? I don't think so. I think it's just as finicky, just a suspicion. But if that's the case, I'm curious, would you guys give up fragrance, or should I say the fragrance, of the Miltoniopsis for ease of care? Do you like the flowers that much that you are willing to sacrifice the fragrance? I'm really curious, because I'll tell you how I stand. No, no way, no freaking way. This is the best fragrance of life. And yes, it is an unattainable dream sometimes for me to properly grow Miltoniopsis, but I try and I improve. At least I can change stuff, right? When it comes to a hybrid that doesn't have fragrance, no matter what I change, it will never bring the fragrance back. So as far as I'm concerned, no. I would not give up fragrance for the ease of care, but I'm sure maybe some people will. So I'm curious how you guys stand, and if you've ever seen this Miltoniopsis in flower shops and you smelled it and it's like, where's the fragrance? Oh, maybe it's stressed. Did you see it? And did you think that? Because I have a funny suspicion, and it's suspicion, it's not a fact. I don't know what hybrid this is, but I have a funny suspicion this is not an odorless, that's bad, right? This is a scentless Miltoniopsis. Make it make sense. Do we want to live in a world where Miltoniopsis don't have scent? I don't. Anyway, yeah, so that's the horrifying situation that I have here in my flower shop, and it's very, very worrying. I'm kidding, you guys. Yes, I would prefer it to have a scent, but it's not, I'm not that sad. However, in other flower shop news, better news, we do have a new hybrid that I like quite a lot. Ta-da! Is this a mini Phalaenopsis? Maybe, not really, I don't know. What's special about it? Oh, look at the leaves. Some of you will say, oh, schilleriana hybrid, and you know exactly what I'm about to say. Yes, and yes, scented. Very scented. It smells just like the schilleriana. So, this is a no-ID schilleriana hybrid, or what I believe to be a schilleriana hybrid based on the fact that I do have the schilleriana and I see a lot of resemblance and it smells identical. But it is a very good one. And it is actually advertised as fragrant. Look at that. What it says here, natural diffuser. I mean, okay, go ahead and say whatever you have to say to sell it. It's a wonderful hybrid. Look how beautiful the foliage is. And the flowers, yes, they're very tiny, but they are produced in high numbers. Right up my alley. And also, they got it spot on with the fragrance. It's not subtle. You know how J-Ho's Pink Girl, yes, it does have a fragrance, but sometimes it's so subtle you can barely detect it. And if the sun is not out, you kind of don't detect it at all. Yeah, I know. And also the foliage is kind of dark. Well, this one is a much more improved version. And at the flower shop, actually, there were quite a few other varieties of this one. Mind you, they didn't have a tag, but they were presented in the same way, which had maybe more pinkier flowers or a little bit different, but they all were fragrant. Now, this is a gift. I got it for a friend, and I picked the one with what I believe to be the best scent. They all smelled the same, but I thought some of them had a stronger scent than others. Maybe it had to do with the time of day, with the stress levels, I really don't know, but it could be also genetic. I picked the one with the most fragrance. And yes, I'm all for these types of new hybrids, not only because they're fragrant, and I love fragrance, but it is an improvement. The foliage looks nice, the flowers are pretty, it is a multiflora, which means it produces a whole bunch of flowers, and yeah, it's a full package in my opinion, yes. This is what we should do, dear hybridizers. not a scentless Miltoniopsis, in my opinion. So yeah, what do you guys think? Did you see these guys in the flower shops? I kind of did quite a lot this year. And even in the Netherlands, there were quite a few of these. Even looking like this, the one that I got is peloric and it was the only one. All of the others were kind of like this. So yeah, they are very popular this year and I don't mind. So if you ever see something like this in the flower shop, give it a sniff. You might be surprised. You might think, oh, Phalaenopsis cannot be fragrant. Yes, they can. Give this one a sniff. So well done with this hybrid. I'm not so happy about the Miltoniopsis though, I will be honest. So let me know in a comment, did you guys see this one in flower shops and what do you think about the scentless Miltoniopsis? Are they taking over the world? Some flower shop news from your area, righty? So, oh my gosh, this video, I planned it to be like one of those short little videos, which probably I will keep for Wednesdays because I'm putting a little bit more effort now in my videos. So on Wednesdays, I do want to have light-hearted subjects, not necessarily tutorials. But yeah, this ended up being quite the full video, right? Well, it was important. I had to talk about the monstrosity that I found at the flower shop and the horrifying news that they're starting to make Miltoniopsis without a scent. What is this world coming to? So that said, I hope y'all have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.